Hi guys, it's Jim Bounds at Motorhome Rehab Ranch. Glad to see you. Come on over here, let's talk about something. Before we get started on this, I've been working on these t-shirts. I took pre-registration for some shirts and I have those. You got to understand it's kind of like bowling or window tinting. If you saw my video on window tinting, you got to get good at it. I'm working at it. Bear with me, and if you'd like to have a t-shirt, one guy said, I've got 50 years of t-shirts. I don't need any more t-shirts. I dig you, man. I got a lot of t-shirts too. But if you would like to have a Motorhome Rehab Ranch t-shirt, got a pin. This is kind of exciting. I've told about this before. Motorhomerehabranch.com. Motorhomerehabranch.com. We are working on a website. And if you go to motorhomerehabranch.com/t-shirts, I think there's an S on the end, maybe not, t-shirt, that will put you on a registration. And just for the heck of it, start watching motorhomerehabranch.com and see if you see anything going on. All right. Air ride rear suspension. Why? Why do we have the suspension we have, other than kind of looking kind of cool? Want to cut this down into a biteable size video because there are some reasons we're going to talk about, but then there are some really neat ways that GM did each one of these things. All right. First of all, rear suspension. We all have seen the video where the motorhome is on the railroad tracks and the regular motorhome kills itself and the other one, the GMC suspension, rolls over the tracks. Well, that's pretty demonstrable about a three-wheel stance for weight. It's true. Thing is, though, we don't drive on railroad tracks, at least I don't. And these motorhomes are made to be highway machines. You see people jack them up. Yeah, I've got mine on some big wide wheels and stuff. But the reality is, and those guys that have had these things very long know, if you get in wet grass, you're probably going to be there for a while. It's not an off-road machine. It is a highway machine. Okay, highway machine. Now, as far as a highway machine, why do we have an air ride rear suspension? Well, first was the smoothness of the no vibration, right? We all know that air ride suspension. Every time you see that, you go, "Oh, that must be smoother suspension," and that's true. But number two, we have a drop floor. Unlike other RVs, you got 2 or 3 steps to go up in there. And when you get up in there, you're kind of swaying like this in the wind or a curve or something like that. Having our air ride rear suspension, because there is no axle, the floor is lower to the ground. 34 inches off the ground is our CG, center of gravity. At 34 inches off the ground, you can take turns tighter. You can go a little quicker around curves. You don't have all the sway, and wind doesn't blow you as much because you have a lower center of gravity. It's kind of like a go-kart. It's hard to turn it over. It's very, very hard to turn over a GMC motorhome. And it's not that hard turning over most any other motorhome. And you've seen what happens when they fall over, they go boom, right? So we have a drop floor. It gives us lower center of gravity, okay? But it also gives us that drop floor all the way through, unbroken. Now, on a regular motorhome, you've got the drive shaft, the frame, wheel, and then you're up on top of it. Well, in our situation, we have a drop floor. We're down here of the top. So this is our lower center of gravity, so that gives us the drop floor. Number 3, and this is in the manual, You can adjust yourself in a park. Okay, yes. And back in the 70s, parks, your RV spot may be on the side of the hill, and this could be a consideration. But to be honest with you, unless you're going off road and back in all that kind of stuff, most RV parks and most roads and things are pretty level now, you know. So it's less of a situation on that. Um, but it is kind of cool. Number 4, though, I think is the main reason they did this is you can also adjust caster. Oops, caster. Okay, and we'll get into that. Actually, there's a couple of videos that talk about camber. Your wheels, like if you're looking at the coach, I'm the coach. This is camber. This is toe, and this is caster. So you get increased caster. Further you roll out the front, like a motorcycle with extended front fork, the better straight ahead you have. Then when you go like this, when you jack the back up, you can turn tight in town. And our air ride rear suspension does all that stuff, does all those things. Plus, I talked to a gentleman named Jerry Clevon, I believe his name was, back in 1992 when I was researching this. He was on the team and he said it was genius. We did all that stuff with 2 airbags. Now, there'd never been a system like that. So with 1 airbag on each side, with this bogey thing in the middle, and actually 3 castings, they could control and create all of this just with this air ride system. So that's why we really have it. All of these things all put together, right? Why didn't they put a spring in there? Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? All of these things all went together, and just like any other high-end science project, who got the bid? The lowest bidder, right? All right, well, I hope that was something in there that was new to you. This is the beginning of the series about air ride rear suspension. We're going to break down each one of the components in the air ride system in the years, power level, electro-level 2, and things that have come up over the years, some new ideas. So stick with us. There's a lot to do with this air ride system. This is a unique system. GM gave it to us, and they never replaced it. Never did another one. It's amazing. Great. Thanks for your time. Give me comments. Ranch hands, thank you very much. And we'll talk to you next time.